Hi guys. So just started the live stream, waiting for some people to come in. We will be starting momentarily. For those of you who may remember or may be following, this is about masks with Michele. I don't know if you can tell. I'm going to step back. I have got my microphone back here today. So if you guys, if you can let me know how well you can hear me, what I'm trying to do is give you a little more space so that you can get a bigger picture of how the mask moves. Hello, Mr. Matt. Can you hear me? Just making sure that the sound is okay, because I've got the microphone here versus using it up by you where I normally do. And thank you for the like. Today is a very different ball of wax. Today we're going to be talking about masks, mask making, performing in masks, all that fun stuff. Excellent. You can hear me. Wow, that's a time delay. Okay. All right. So I don't know if you can tell. My face looks a little bit different than normal. I'm going to come up close for a second so you can see it, and then I'm going to step back. I don't know. The lighting is kind of crappy because the light is here. For it to be seen better, I need to step back, as I noted. But you'll notice that I have makeup on my eyes and nowhere else. The reason, because if we're working with masks, I don't actually want makeup on the rest of my face if I can avoid it, because it will all sweat off. But I do want it here, because when you put a mask on, the only part that shows is here. Now, in some of these masks, the chin may show too, but the distance and the movement, it's not as big a deal. So we're going to try. Oh, no problem. So we're going to try. And if I move around too much and you hear the sound going out or it's not working, just let me know. Normally, you guys are looking at that wall. Today, we're going to be working off of this space. Just I've pulled some of the masks down. As you may have noticed, some empty spots, and that's just for ease of working with them. A lot of these masks have not been off the wall in a while, so they're going to be a little dusty. I've got a little cloth to wipe them off. If there are any one of my particular masks that you want to hear me talk about, or you want to learn about, let me know. Thank you for the like, whoever did that. Yeah, and if you are new to this channel, if you're watching this later in the fact, please like, comment, subscribe. That way I know this is the kind of content you guys want to see. I do the Disney live chats. I do full character stuff and Renfest stuff. But to know if this is something of interest to you guys, like and comment and tell me, because that tells me what I need to give you guys. And again, like I said, if I start moving too far away from the mic and the sound gets wonky, just type it in, let me know, and I'll try to readjust. So, performing a mask. The first and most important thing that you need to do, which I didn't get to do yet, so I get to do it quickly with you while we're talking, is stretch your neck. I know, your neck. Why? You're not, yes, the rest of the body is good if you're doing one of the more physical characters, but the most important thing in a mask you need to stretch is your neck. Because, and we're going to start, oh God, yeah, and mine has not been stretched in a while. Because when you are moving in the mask, and because the rest of your face is suddenly going to be static, it doesn't move. So your ability to use light and to use movement to show emotion becomes essential. So every time you see me at the festival, you see me performing in mask, I have already done this. I usually am doing it at the festival at 7:30 in the morning till about 8 o'clock with a vocal warm-up. And then, oh God, yeah, my neck is so stiff because I really haven't been doing any of this. Thank you, pandemic. And you let the light and the air take it back. Oh, I just felt it pop. What fun. So if you guys have questions for me, or if there's something specific you want to see while I'm doing this, during this whole chat, pop those questions in the live chat over there. Let me know what things you want to talk about, what questions you have. Wow, you see how much my neck is not going to this side compared. Ooh, see, like on this side, pretty far. This side, oh, not as much. Oh, all right. And again, you'll notice once I've done the one side, I actually rotate down and up. And these are just some of the basic exercises. You also, I'm going to get a little louder now, do it to the sides and up. And one of the things you'll notice here, I'm going to teach you a little trick, a very important thing with mask stretching. Do not ever go like that. I'm going to do this. Now I'm going to do the proper stretch. Do you see what the difference is? If you've recognized what the difference is, let me know. Hello, Mr. Patrick. Good to see you. The difference in these two stretches is that this one crushes your vertebrae, whereas this one lifts and stretches the front of your body without damaging your body. As I mentioned to Matt, I'll mention to you guys again, I've got my microphone back here today so I can do a little more movement. I have hung this is where Teatro lives, but it's not a very good background for putting on the masks and letting you see the difference. So that's why I've got the sheet hanging there. But yeah, so if you guys have questions, masks you want to specifically see, concepts you want me to explain with mask performance, just throw them in the chat and we will have some fun here. So I have a number of different masks. Most of the ones that I've got here, hello, who's joining us? Welcome, welcome. Thank you for the like, whoever did that. I've got all different types of masks. I've got ones I've made from scratch. I've got ones where I got a blank, and a blank is just, it's a shaped mask, but it's got nothing on it. It's just solid white. And those I painted to create for some of the shows I did. Hello, Mr. Drew. Welcome, welcome. Sorry, other stretches while we're talking. I've got some that were standard off the standard ones from other people. Oh God, yes, he's so sore. And I've got ones that I had. Did I have any of these commissioned? I did not have any of these commissioned. Most of these are paper mache, written papier mache. Some of them are leather, and those are all the leather ones I have are from a gentleman by the name of Newman, who makes incredible character commedia masks. One of these is from one of my instructor's wives from when I studied at Dell'Arte. There's one, if I pull it out, that is from Epcot, Italy. But most, and the rest of them I have made over the years and I've been performing. So, as I said, if you have questions about a specific mask, things you want to know about this, something that I may have missed, then let me know. So we're going to start. I want to start with somebody you haven't seen before. So do you guys want to see full face masks, or do you guys want to see the commedia, the character masks where I've got a mouth? Because we can play with both. Let me, all right, I'm pulling out these have been hanging and getting dusty. So we're going to start. I mean, we could start with what you guys know, but then move on to something different. Let's do this, because I'm not sure how well this is. The other problem with these having been on the wall for so long is dust. Sadly, lots of dust. And because they are usually held on with elastic, the elastic starts to expand as well. So we're going to see how this works. So, commedia masks. We have a question. Do any of your masks have any moving pieces, reticulation, etc.? Actually, I have one mask that is 2 pieces. I didn't pull that one down, but I can pull that one down. So talk amongst yourselves for a second while I do this. La, 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 I am walking and we are talking. And you can hear more masks coming off the wall. Oh, good Lord. Okay, well, this one definitely has seen better days. Okay, so this is a 2-piece latex mask that is dusty beyond all get out. But it's, oh my God, yeah. This one has not been moved off the wall in a long time. 2 pieces. So I'm going to, oh my, yeah, you know what? This mask may have seen its maker. It has gotten so old and dusty that it is cracked. So I'm going to say, no, I don't anymore. That's sad. But, so you can see what it was. It was an owl face. And the second piece was meant to go around the chin. I'm afraid to put this on. Let me try dusting it and putting it on. This may not go back on the wall when we're done, but you can see how some of these work. Oh my God. Yeah, this is an experience. So as I said, when they hang for too long, they stretch out. And this one has definitely not been used in quite a while. Yeah, this may not work today. All right, what I'm going to do, since this has definitely seen better days, is hold it up. So let me do the other piece first, because I think that one might not be too bad. Yeah. Oh, 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 oh. So that would be the concept behind a mask that moves. Wow, this one is meeting its maker. Okay, that is very unfortunate, but at least I know. Thank you very much for the likes. Welcome, welcome, everybody. So that's what a piece would be. Now, most of the others, the rest of the ones I have are stagnant pieces, which means that the onus is on the performer to make them come alive. So let me give you an example. I'm going to start with a full face mask because that's not something you guys see on me a whole lot, but it gives you an idea of why stretching your neck out is important. Hello, Miss Terry. See you. Oh, okay. Buy your cell phone. We're going to be hopefully just an hour, just so you know, but you can always watch it later. Okay. All right. So this is the first mask I ever made. Haha. So you just see it, and it was based off of my face. And it's give you the sneaky way of doing this. And this will be I don't know if you can hear this, but this would be a reveal. So, woohoo, fun stuff. Intense and brooding, yes. This was I furrowed my face a lot when I created this one and built that up off of my own features. This guy or gal or whoever she is, you'll notice one of the things that I love about it, and that's why I'm trying to be behind the light, is that when the mask, let me try to get a simple background. When the mask is straight on, it looks angry. It looks very prideful, very full of itself. And it can look, let me see if I can get the right angle. It can be domineering, but in certain lights, that's the angle you want. Let me show you. It almost becomes pleading. You see that anguish. You see that pain. She's, again, paper mache. I'm going to show you up close. Because I don't perform in this one very much, all it is a simple black layer of paint inside that is now sealed. I paint another sealant over it, and that allows it to keep from sweating black on my face when I'm performing. This particular elastic is a little stronger. It's got it doesn't stretch out as badly as the other ones were. The other ones, most of those I did way early on in my stuff. Any mask I perform in regularly, I line on the sweat points with little pieces of leather inside the nose, at the lip, at this upper lip, if it's a talking mask, or at the chin otherwise, anywhere where water is going to pool so that it doesn't cause damage to the mask. So, like I said, very, very, very first mask I made ever. Yellow and mustard tones with purple highlights. And I don't know, like I said, when I get closer, the shadowing here is not great. I don't know if that makes it worse. Can we do it that way? Aha! So you can see the purple shade tones in it. And every angle you change it, and that's one of the sign of a really good mask, is every angle that you change on this mask can change the emotion, so that your body and the angles of the light hitting the mask and all of the angles you've made on the planes of the face is what sells the emotions of it. I love this mask because she is so emotional. Then you've got other masks that the personality comes out of the traditional personality. Hold on a second. Let me do this for a sec. You did not see that. I'm just throwing this up out of the way. Normally, when you perform in a mask, the most important thing you need to start with is a frame. Now, I'm kind of cheating today with my hair up and out this way. If I was performing regularly as Stupina, and you guys might kind of see it through the hood, you absolutely frame the face. So normally she will have dun, 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 a hood. And this is just a stretchy cotton elastic, like something you would make leggings out of. And it allows you to have your bangs and your hair, but it keeps everything framed. So if I've got the long hair I have, you now can't tell my hair length. My body might tell you my gender, but my face won't. My hair won't. So it allows me to become more neutral in the personality I'm expressing. I really didn't plan this as well, focus-wise, but so yeah. All right, so we're going to show you a couple. The next step you would do is the frame. So I have a box up in the upper part of that closet, which we are not taking down, which has a whole bunch of different hats. That's one of the ways you frame. Or for Stupina, it's that rag that's around her hair. And it's the Punchinella has one of those pointy caps that's flopped over to the side. Or sometimes they're still pointed up with the little puff balls in the front. So they're all that kind of thing. Again, if you have questions, if you want to have things you want to find out about, if I go too fast on something or you want clarification, just throw it in there and let me know. All right, so let's start with a character face. So we're now going to go to, a commedia mask. And this is actually the second mask I made. And it is a hard, solid piece of paper mache, like that hurts. Very, very solid. And this is Capitano. Now, for those of you who know commedia, commedia dell'arte was created by the common people for the common people. Moliere, all right, this is one of my favorite stories about commedia, is when Moliere started out, when he got his company going, he was able to share a theater to cover expenses. Hello, Mr. Dave. Good. Oh, well, good. Yeah. And Dave, if you have any questions about stuff, please ask, because I know you definitely do this. And I got my dottores, so I'll pull my dottores out for you later. But if you were, so it was the theater for the common people. It was the low class. It was the people in the streets, and they would make fun of the masters. That's why the servants always win in these. The underdog always seems to win. They might get some comeuppance. Some of the nastier servant characters might struggle a little more, but that's sort of the premise behind it. So these masters are your dottore, which is your I'm gonna hold on. Let me do it in stages. So this is one of my dottores. The fluffy eyebrows. I have done, this is actually rabbit fur, I believe, that I got from a shop that sells like roadkill from years and years ago. I've had it for forever, and one little piece made like a bunch of different masks. And my old glasses frames that I added on top of there, which gives it a nice kind of shape. Dottore is the one who knows everything badly. Think Cliff Clavin from Cheers. Think Fraser Crane from Cheers, or Niles from Frasier. Think about any of those characters that is so full of pompous facts. They spout them off, and you know what? A good chunk of the time they're wrong. That's your dottore. He's always he's usually a professor out of Bologna, and he is usually eating. When they'll talk about leads. Leads are the part of your body that focuses or directs the movement for your characters. The dottore has two leads: his head, which is the brain one, and his stomach. So you might have, and I don't know if you saw that, so you go from here to home. So the stomach comes out, and his hands will sit up here. They don't come down here because his belly is too big, because he doesn't exercise, he doesn't move around. So it's all up here. And his gestures will tend to be up in this world. I say, blah, blah, blah. And we'll get into him in a minute. Capitano, well, let me do the next one. I was talking about Pantalone. Pantalone is your miser. He is about money and sex, but he can't get it up. And he's usually cuckolded by his wife. He's usually trying to hit on Columbina, fails, because she's got too good a head on her shoulder. And Columbina, the reason I chose Columbina as the character that I play is because she is the only one in the commedia world that always knows what's going on. She's the only one who is smart enough that understands the machinations of everything going on, which was kind of nice because this was the first time when women were allowed on stage, and this woman, this female character is the one who kind of has it and goes, this person's going to be a jerk, this person's going to be good. So it's a neat kind of thing to play with, but that's why I chose her over any Isabella, who's the lover character. So Pantalone, and he's got, you'll see some of the masks. Let me pull it up close again. Doing it again, hold on. So you see this thing here, it's called a carbuncle. You'll see a number of the characters have the carbuncle. Pantalone has them. Arlecchino, which is your Harlequin, has them. They are the marks of the devil, or the horns, the remnants of what would have been horns when they were helicans. They were many, like, assistants to the demons. That was the concept behind helican. And helican became Arlecchino, or Arlecchino, or Harlequin, as you guys would know from the lovely romance novels. So Pantalone is your dirty old man who's a miser. He usually has a daughter he's trying to marry off to Dottore's son for money, or vice versa in gender. But he's the one who always loses in the end, if you do it right. The last one that I had in my hands that I was about to show you, Capitano. Capitano can be the elongated nose. It's always a big nose, but he can be this style of nose. He can be this style of nose. You may notice something about the nose. You'll notice that about a lot of commedia noses. Not going to say anything else more about it. But this was, again, comedy for the common people. Oh, that story about Moliere. So Moliere wanted to start a theater company, and he shared the space with a commedia company. So he wasn't as popular. So he got to perform Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. The commedia company got Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Nobody performed on Sunday. That was the Sabbath. So fun little story there. So Capitano. Capitano is afraid of his own shadow. He is, I usually like a hat for this. Hold on a second. Talk amongst yourselves. I don't think I have one out. I'm not pulling that box down. Okay, I am not pulling that box down. That would be a mess. So imagine I have a hat on. I usually use like a big cavalier hat, or anything that you would think of for a sailor would be appropriate for this kind of a character. He is always from somewhere else. When this took place in Italy, he was always from Spain. It was whatever country the company that was performing didn't like, generally. But always an outsider, always had a foreign accent. This is welcome to, yeah. It's been like this for a long time. So, okay. And again, you always want to give it a reveal. And Capitano can talk, so he has a great voice. He is magnifico. Yes, I am perfect. I am smart. Oh, that's a mouse. He will go from the extremes. And he walks out of here. He is what is called a chest lead. And he believes that he is smart. He will tell you about the great battle he has won. He will tell you about the grand experiences he has had. And oh, goodness. And he will go from... Now, one of the things you may be noticing as I am talking, normal mouth, mask mouth, normal mouth, mask mouth. I will give you a little trick. Now, where is she? Where's my little girl? Where are you, little girl? Here she is. The one you all know. Now, Stupina is her lead is like elbows and knees mostly. But you'll also notice what happens to my posture when I play her. Now remember, Dottore, I mentioned, was a head lead because he's so smart. She's also a head lead. And it's not about the intelligence, but whether or not she's driving for information or trying to get information, that's it. The person who created her, Gina Bastone, created her. She's a Canadian clown. And this was a character that she made at the Dell'Arte School. So Stupina is really truly an incarnation out of the Dell'Arte School of Physical Theater, Northern California. She, when the founder of the school, Carlo Mazzone Clemente, saw Gina Bastone performing in this mask or this character, his reaction was, he didn't recognize her because she wasn't part of the actual world that he grew up in. And his response was, oh, so it's Coviello. So Coviello was the closest match. Now, Coviello was a very lazy, slow servant. Hello, everyone. Stupina is a little more, she is normally traditionally played as a very, very slow servant, where each commedia character is usually relegated to an animal. She was originally a turtle. There's a famous company that had performed, again, more recently, with a Stupina, and she stood there. The Stupino or Stupina, depending on the gender, just kind of stood there. And this whole scene took place around her. And just the movement was like 5 minutes of movement. It's like someone says, Stupina, do this. And a 5-minute scene happens where all she does is turn her face and then turn it back and go, what? Because her timing, her world is so different. Capitano, there was a Capitano Spavento, one that was quite funny. He was so full of himself and so full of braggadocio, that the whole braggart nature, that the scene began with someone picking him up, carrying him in, setting him down on the stage. He stayed in that position for the whole scene. He might have switched his arms. He never left that spot. At the end of the scene, when he was done, his servants came in, picked him up, and carried him out. So you can use movement or lack of movement to tell these stories. So Stupina, because you all know her, is very high. You'll notice that when I talk, I do not eat in this mask. I try. It's not pretty. Because, again, if you look, and again, I am now in Stupina. I am now in Stupina. You see what I'm doing? I don't actually do it to this one, because I realized I just put my butt to the mic. So I have no idea how well you heard that. So if you've got Stupina here and talking to you, and then you say, I am still Stupina talking to you, you see what happens to the body. So she is very curved over. Her face is forward, and her jaw is out here. So when I'm talking at her, I've actually distended my jaw forward, and I keep talking. And that by having the jaw down and out, it also allows the tongue to go out, because the tongue suddenly becomes a way to express what's going on. Capitano, any of them. Capitano, Pantalone, Dottore, not as much. Speaking of which, let's give you a little bit of Dottore. So, oh God, dust. He's an old fart. Let me pull out. Where did I put the... Ah! Where'd my desk call? Okay, well, now I'm using my shirt. So my shirt may go gray between the show. By the way, guys, as I ramble on and on about all this information, if you have questions about anything we're talking about, please feel free to ask them in the chat box on the side where other people have said stuff. If there's something you want to see, or a question you have, or more you want to know, or you want one of these you want to see again and have me play a little more, just throw that in there as well. If you're enjoying this, please hit the like button below, the little thumb up button. If you are new to the channel and you have not already subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe. It'll let you know when this kind of content comes up. I do, like I said, I do this. I do the Disney chats. I do character creation things. I may end up doing some food channel stuff soon, but I'm not sure when that is. And if you're enjoying the show, please, like I said, I said that already. If you're enjoying this and you want to support me, because I don't have enough subscribers yet to be able to actually make do like the what do you call it, like the super chats where you get money, people can send you money through it. If you would love to support me, I have a Ko-fi page, Kofi, and it is PTP grad at Ko-fi. I realized I forgot to put that link in there, so please, if you can, that's great. Just help. It's called Help Buy a Dole Whip for me. But let's get back into the fun masks. All right. So Dottore Welcome to my chat. I am here today to explain to you the machinations and avocations of what we are indubitably wondering about. Yes. So, in these questions, I am here. You know what I am thinking of? I am thinking of the owl in the Tootsie Lollipop commercial. 1, 2, 3. 3. That is the answer. And I like when the face moves how the eyebrows go fluffer, fluffer, fluffer. This one not as much. This one is molting. I'm molting. I will write you a poem about molting. Oh, the light as it flutters through the feathers and hair that piles like goo. Into the light the feathers will fall, and out comes each follicle, each one hair and all. Thank you. Thank you. This is Dottore. Oh. So that's a Dottore for you. He's words and language. In the original production I performed in this mask, the Dottore was literally standing on my performance partner. He had his head on one box, his feet on another box, his body was suspended, and then I stood on his body and began to start talking, just on and on and on. It was pretty funny. You were doing just fine. I'm learning a lot just by listening and watching. Well, thank you. Sometimes the questions and things do help me guide so that I know what kind of things you want to know, or it gives me things to jump off from. I had asked earlier about the upkeep of the mask collection. Do you need to oil the masks because they're so sturdy, or do they not require it and still do not crack? Okay, so leather masks would require that kind of work. And I haven't really shown you any leather masks yet. All the ones you've seen are paper mache. So the upkeep that they will have are changing out the elastics when they stretch. Often I do them with Velcro just because then I can start adjusting it if it starts to stretch it a little bit. If I start having issues at the joints here, I have been known to rip the elastic off, build up the paper mache on the side, and then re-glue it down. I use household goop usually, and then it smells funny while it dries, but it dries. Repainting the inside if I sweat too much in the mask. Stupina is the 4th mask I ever made, and I have rebuilt and repainted and rebuilt her more times than I care to imagine. Let me show you the inside of her because you guys don't see this very often. So this, let me tilt it down, is the inside of Stupina. So you will see where I had makeup on, where you've got the leather piece there, which has been sweated in and makeuped in. You've got the bottom lip piece, which you can see has been kind of lipped on as well. This one is not dusty per se. This one is used, and I will end up repainting. I will pull off the leather, repaint the whole inside, and reseal it. I have been known to, I don't know if you can see inside the nose, but there's a little piece of green leather right at the tip of the nose to catch fluid there as well. So I will repaint and reseal it and then glue the pieces back in. I will repaint multiple times. She has chipped countless times. So I don't know if you ever look, it looks like she's got the pox, like this whole section in here came off. There's another section in here. You can see it's a little browner. So she has been painted and repainted over and over and over time as I have actively been using her. The other masks I don't actively use, I haven't had to do so much with. Yeah, so it's interesting. Now, we also were starting to talk a little bit about full face versus character. And I would consider these a very specified type of character mask. Matt, this is a great learning a lot. Is there any tricks you recommend for maintaining these masks as well as repair, including color paint the masks with fading chips? Okay, so I use latex paints, usually stuff that you would actually find even at a Michael's. I have used, although my pure base is a different quality. Hold on, as I keep talking, I'm still here. I'm not gone. I'm pulling out some paint for you to see. La, 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 pulling out paint. La, la, la. Well, this is an old version. This is probably not the right one, but okay. So these are the paints I usually use. This is if I can afford the quality stuff. It's called golden acrylics. So it's acrylic paints. I get a gold. I have a red. I have I use umber. I use sienna. I use a flesh tone, I use white, I use black. And this is what I try to use on the inside as much as possible. And then it is sealed with this. And this is used both on the inside and the outside. And it's this very bizarre paste that if you just paint it on, it just kind of makes a milky look at the end. And this is old. Okay, inside it's a white goopy stuff. And you would just, on a paintbrush, just paint it on the, water it down a little bit and then paint it on the mask. And then when it dries, it actually keeps moisture from getting in. On the inside, sometimes I will actually mix it with the black paint and seal it in that way. And then like any of these kind of tubes of colored paints that you get, they can be used mixed in the acrylics to create the color. Normally what will happen with most of these, especially the commedia ones, you'll notice how, let me tilt this down again. You'll notice how it's not a standard color. All right, so a couple things. The first thing you would do is paint your base color on to fix wherever things were. The next step then, after that happens, is to refix the edges. And I don't know if you can see, but it's darker around the edges. Because if you look at a real person's face, the shadow kind of hits at the edge. And that allows you to bring the focus back into the face. So that would be the second thing. And what I normally do is I take some of the base color, mix it with some purple, a dark purple, and then put it around the edge and then wipe to bring some of the intensity down. You've got your highlight tone so you can see definitive lines on those. And that's literally just done in paint. When you step it back, though, you can see the shadow in the face. The last thing that I do on the commedia masks is I take not a cherry red, but more of a yellow red, and I mix it in a lot of water, and I do what's called a wash. And I don't want you to see the ceiling because that will make things difficult. And then I will take a wash, and I will very, very liquidy, and I will basically do a wash over the face and then just wipe it down. And whatever stays in those nooks and crannies makes it look more like a live face. Red tones make you look like you're alive, just so you know. Whereas when you get a character like this guy, and this is one of the ones that's a blank, where I bought the base piece. This came from a shop in Italy, in Venice. One of the places that I kind of loved. I will tell you, when I went to Venice, I was all excited. I was going to meet all the mask makers. It was, big, exciting. Most of the shops, they were pompous assholes. No offense. Well, yeah, offense to the ones that were pompous assholes. There was a shop in the called Ca del Sol, I believe, CA''Delsol, Ca del Sol, which was out on the farther end, out of the more touristy area of Venice, just over a bridge. And that's where I got all of these, because the second that I realized they were nice human beings, I gave them my money. So, Ca del Sol made these. Now, again, I have not Velcroed these, so unfortunately, I don't know how good the fit is. Now, I haven't played in this one yet. This one was used actually on the Maryland Renaissance Festival stage. If any of you saw Don Quixote many years ago, I was the mask coach for that show. And I also used a bunch of my masks in there. So there were a number of different faces, a lot of the ones that were on the walls that appeared at the end when Don Quixote is about to die. And they all kind of, pardon me a second. And they were all kind of there as he's on his pyre and about to die, and they helped send him off. Including there's a death face here somewhere that I did. This one was worn by someone named John. I don't think it was Sadowski. I'm not sure who it was. Was it Dixon? Was Dixon in that one? All right. If you wore this mask, or you remember who wore this mask, which actor did at the Maryland Renaissance Festival, the first year that Fred was in Don Quixote, when he first joined cast, pop it in the comments. Type them in here if you know it and you're online. If it's after the fact, type it underneath and let me know, because I'd be curious. So, give you an idea. So, when you get a new mask, for example, this one I've never physically worn to do stuff. You look at yourself in it. You look at your body in it. And then you start to reshape yourself to figure out what the personality is. You look at how the light reacts to it. You look at how it interacts with you. And you start to develop your personality. That is called, the first step, actually, what I will say, is called shoeing a mask. S-H-E-W, I believe. Some people might say S-H-O-E, as in putting on a shoe. But it's like putting on a shoe. It's looking at it, and it's deciding, all right, I see this character as mischievous and devious, kind of Loki, but adult. It's a much older character. I see it as definitely masculine. I could see where it could go feminine, but it's definitely masculine. It's mean. It's like one of those snarky people that goes out of their way to kind of hurt you. So the first thing, like I said, let me pull the mask in here and let you see it. But your question is that's what I got from it just by looking at it, looking at the angles, looking at the shading, etc. Is that's what I see in this face. So, I mean, go ahead, look at it, make the decisions you think that it might be, realizing that the second you put the mask on, or I put the mask on and I start moving, all of those could go out the window. So you ask yourself the gender. You ask yourself, if it was an animal, what would it be? Is it what's its emotional state? What age is it? What emotion is it? All these different things that allow you to get an idea of what you think it might be. And then you put it on and you let it be what it's going to be. So that being said, and again, I have no idea. Let me drop this down a hair just in case my body starts to drop in the location. I'm going to use you guys, the camera, because I can actually see a picture of what I look like right now. And that's what I'm going to use to help me figure out the physicality of this. Now, again, this is stretched out, so I'm not sure how well that's going to fit. But you get the mask on. And that's the discovery process of wearing a mask. Welcome to my world. So based on what I originally thought and what starts happening starts to change what this experience is. So I got this to laugh. I tried flirting, didn't look right. I tried crying, wasn't quite believable. So then I'm curious as an audience member, what read for you? Yeah, a joker or scoundrel, exactly. A ladies' man. That's an interesting choice there, Patrick. I like that as a concept. Based on the earlier comment about red signifying life, would this mask denotes, sorry, because I'm in contacts, denote spirit world or death or the like? Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely, it could be any of those. And that's the thing, until I put a wrap or some kind of a hat or some other frame, so instead of the black hair, it could be something totally different. The shirt, the clothing, and the way I move will change this personality. Like I tried to go like that for a second, and you'll notice. I don't know if you saw that. I tried it briefly, but it just didn't seem right. It didn't fit the mask for me and my body. But someone else could put the same face on it because of their body type. That frame that this sits on becomes a whole different personality. So there's a whole lot of flexibility and stuff in there. Talking about framing, let me give you. Where is she? Where's my lady? Now, this is one of the masks I did not make. This one I got. I performed in this mask and then purchased it off of the designer, a duplicate of it. It's not the actual mask I performed in back then. Wow, this is filthy. I took an antihistamine before I started today because now this one I'll show is kind of interesting. They sewed it in, though I thought it was Velcroed. Maybe it is. So these guys, what they did to deal with the sweat issue, kind of looks like a shoulder pad. It's fabric, absolutely washable, and it fits right up here. So this is their way of catching sweat. And that's actually a really neat idea and something I might look at, because then I could wash this rather than the leather that just keeps collecting more sweat and more sweat. Yay. By the way, guys, we're probably at about 15 minutes before we finish up for today. If you're enjoying this, please go ahead and give me the thumbs up, like below. If you want to start seeing more of these, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Lets me know you want to follow and tells you when more stuff is coming out and what it's about. A couple different topics I cover here, as you know. If you have enjoyed this, you learned something, and you'd like to throw a little tip my way, I have a Ko-fi page. It is ko-fi/com/ptpgrad. I'll try to add it to the description of this when it's over, but if you can throw a little bit my way, I'd appreciate it. We have no Renfest this year, so that's changed my world and income. And there are definitely things I'm trying to do this year that I could definitely use the support. Not an obligation. Please stay and watch no matter what. But if you can, fabulousness. All right. So, framing a mask. This character I called Catherine, because you get the personality and you decide, like, I think that gray one I just wore, Simon or Darian or something really interesting like that. So, to put in terms of hiding and framing a mask, I'm going to show you another way to do it. And this is what I would normally do with a regular mask, if it's not a commedia mask. But the commedia masks, you want to keep your gender away. You want to keep your personality away. Give me a second, because I want to try to give you a reveal on this so you get an idea of the face. Oh, this is going to be a little harder to do because she's the elastic has stretched. So that's Catherine. She's a movie star. Now you saw, again, a singular expression, but suddenly when you start moving in it, the personality changes, the emotion, the story changes. And that is the sign of a really cool mask. All right, what do we got here? Movie star, glamorous lady. You picked up on it. Perfect. Your second full face. No, doing the math. The third. This is the third full face. I gave you the begging / angry yellow face, the gray full face, and then this is Catherine. And this one I did not make. So the first one I made completely from scratch. The second one I painted, but it was a blank from someone else. And this one is completely made by another person. Let's see, I'm trying to think of what other kind of things. So in the last like 10, 15 minutes, what do you got? Or yeah. Tell me what you guys want to learn about, or what you want me to talk about for the next 10 minutes. If there's anything you're curious about, something that if you want to see if I have a different type of, or you want to see a different personality. There are a couple masks here that this isn't a family friendly channel, but it's not necessarily a raunchy mean channel. Like the language is not bad. There's at least one mask in this collection that curse words come out of my mouth every time I put it on. I will show you that mask. I will not put it on. So, Punchinelle. If you guys have ever seen a Punch and Judy show, this is Punchinelle. Punch and Judy. So again, let's give you a little better lighting on this. If you look at his nose, yes, that was the exact intent. This is a nasty, mean character. He is from Napoli. The idea is that he will sell his mother if he can make a profit. He's mean. He's yeah. He curses a lot. He is also in the commedia company your best ballet dancer. He is a hunchback. So I usually have a pad on me that I'm wearing, and the one leg sticks out longer than the other, which I can't. Well, I'm going to do just for a second, just to kind of give you the look. So he will kind of walk like this, and the one leg kind of dangles because he's not able to. He's deformed. He's literally deformed. He's the hunchback, and because he is treated poorly by society, he treats them poorly back. So that's his power and his way of getting back. He will be mean to the other servants. He will be mean to the master characters. And he's just, like I said, he'll make a profit off of anybody any way he can. He does not care who it is. And he curses a lot. But yeah, he's it's done more geometrically on this one. Like the cheeks in these are literally circles with shading. I don't know if you look real close, you can see it's literally just a circle shaded around the edge. Like I said, the nose is very specifically designed. Standard. There you go. There, even better. There you go. Perfect. That's helpful. Again, the dark shading around the outer edge to bring your focus into the face. But what is this? In future live chat, please show us how to dress for these looks. I can try some of them. I don't have full outfits, and changing between them will be complicated, but let's see what we can come up with. But I did want to give you sort of the generic palette for it. I mean, you know what Stupino looks like. Punchinella is white, with a white kind of floppy collar that you see, and like when you look at a Harlequin or a Pierrot, that kind of floppy collar. May or may not have the puff balls going down. Pierrot's usually the puff balls. He's not. Shapeless sort of white tunic, white straight pants, and then the flopped hat. The servants usually almost always wore white. The master characters had color. So Pantalone is red. Pantaleon, the pants of the lion. Pantalone had red, kind of like you could use long underwear for him, and then a black coat goes down to the ground or not. The Capitano, whatever you would picture a soldier from a particular area would have, that's Capitano. Dottore is usually in the robes of a professor from university. I actually used a black cap and gown for that character. And then you don't see pants, you just see like the tights coming out of it, but that's because he's in his robes. He's in anything that's going to show how great he is because he's smart. Pantalone, anything to show off his money. Capitano, anything to show off how great he is as a soldier and how proud he is and how wonderful he is. They're all enhanced to that. But that's why you see Stupino all in white. You know, working at a festival, it would not be ideal for me to be all in white, but I am for her because that's the classic look. Now, ironically, she stays clean. Like sometimes I might, even sitting in the dirt, I might get a little dirt on my butt. But honestly, people are always amazed at how pristinely white she stays because she's good that way. All right. Hi, Eddie. The outfits, you could do a pre-recorded video so you can cut it. And I think I might do that. I could do that. So if I might do like the different characters because I do have, I mean, all of the commedia faces I have at least one costumed version of it. So I could potentially do that. That is actually a really good idea. So thank you for that. And I might look at doing this. I mean, if you guys are interested in seeing more of a series of this and commedia and mask performance and stuff, either, you know, like I said, the likes, throw it in the comments, throw it in the after the fact comments. Or you can, I mean, for those who know me through other sources, you can reach me in other sources. If you put the comments here, it does help make this more visible. So anything you can do to help, fabulous, grand, I appreciate it. So what do we have? We got about 6 more minutes to play with. So what do I want to show you? All right, let me do a leather. The other trick that I've learned with these is that the mask's nose every mask has 2 noses. And you go, what the heck does that mean? Every mask has a nose. So where did you put it? Is it like stuck somewhere? No. Every 2 noses. Sometimes they call it a third eyeball. That's the other one, and that probably will make more sense to you. For example, well, let's start with Punchinella since you've already seen him. Punchinella has 3 eyeballs, the 2 in the openings and the tip of the nose. Capitano has 2 eyeballs and the tip of the nose. And you will watch when the character moves that eyeball becomes almost a lead. It becomes where the movement is directed. So this is a mask made by a gentleman by the name of Newman. This is a leather mask. The leather masks are more accurate to what was worn way back when. They can withstand sweat and etc. I do not know how he formatted this and made it so shiny and pretty, but it is a solid piece. Now he's got a seam up the nose where you can see where he did the stitching on it to bring the sides together, and you can see where he's folded it in. He signed it over here. This is called Zani. Zani is generic servant. Zani, the Zani character and all of the servant characters originally were birds. So when you look at the movement of most of the servants, Arlecchino is more of an ape, but any of the other servant characters, even Punchinella is a chicken or a turkey. Each of these kind of have birds that they relate to. So hold on. Hello. I am happy to see you. I'm Danny. And Zani is very loose. I'm falling. It's like sitting here on my face, which makes it kind of hard to talk in it. But so that's a Zani. More important is the logic and the history behind each outfit and mask. Okay, I can see that you can do that. Oh, rewritten. Okay, cool. I mean, I can give you a little more history about like the different commedia masks. We could do that for sure. I can play with that. Will not be in the next week because I've got some stuff taking me out of town next week for work. And then after that, we can talk. And hold on a second. I didn't realize this entire time you guys are sitting with something with a table that was one leg was kind of bent in. That's not good. So we're about at the end of our time. It's not fun. It's not. I'm going to be helping packing and moving and crappity. It's not. So it is what it is. But anyway, so that was Masks with Michele. If you have liked this, again, like I said, if you haven't already, please hit the like button. I will look at doing this more. If there are topics you want me to cover, there are more masks on the wall I haven't pulled down. I've got the one from Epcot I haven't pulled down and a couple others. I've got neutral mask, and then I've got the pretty ones that I sometimes wear at festival as Columbina. But if you're interested in any of that stuff, let me know what you want to see. Pop it in the comments. Again, if you can support me and support the page, hitting Ko-fi is great. I still have interpreter CDs. And if you go to the Facebook Teatro di Pecorino Romano or the interpreters pages in the photos of the t-shirts you will also see the sizes that are left. The pictures are older, but the t-shirts haven't changed. I think I've got like 3X interpreters t-shirts and little kids for Teatro, like youth mediums. So anything that, if you can, that's great. Like I said, support the Ko-fi page. Like this, subscribe, make comments. That's another way to help support me. And thank you. Oh my God, thank you for coming out and doing this. This was a lot of fun. Hey, Shaggy, thank you. And again, concepts, ideas you want me to try, throw them in the comments. This has been fun. I haven't kind of been physical this way in a bit, so it was nice to do, and glad. And I'm glad you guys could hear me with this. I wasn't sure how this mic setup would work, but it seems to work. So I have semi-better lighting, and maybe we can adjust the lighting, because actually this is probably where the lighting is best, but I'm so far away from you at that point. But yeah, so I mean, if you have any last comments, throw them in there, because we got like maybe 45 seconds. But if I don't hear from you, oh my God, thank you. This was great. This was amazing. And we'll try to do some more of this if people are interested. Worked just fine, even when you went off screen. Oh, good. Well, I got really loud because I am. But thank you so much, and we'll do this again soon. And It's been fun, and I'm going to get ready to end. Getting out of light. I wonder if Terry has her phone yet. Who knows? She probably doesn't, but I'm sure she'll look at stuff later. She's commented after the fact. But thank you, everybody. It's been a pleasure, and I don't have a tagline.